Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, we'll be going through the Carlton versus GWS game in which Carlton ran over the top of GWS, and I was thankful for this. I think this is the only tip I've gotten right so far, which is quite crazy. I went for the upsets and went for them in pretty much all the wrong games. So yeah, I've gotten a lot of tips wrong this round, but I mean, a lot of people I think have gotten tips wrong, which helps a little bit. But anyway, before we get into this video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into this recap. So first of all, Paddy Cripps, a 126. He was crazy, and this is not going to load, is it? So let's just go over to fan footy because that's going to give us a better stat line. Paddy Cripps, 39 touches here. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Does that work? No, we want that. So yeah, 39 touches for him, 2 marks, 7 tackles, 4 free kicks, 1 free kick against, 4. Yeah, he was just really good, and a fantasy score of a 126, as you can see here. I think he did it pretty much throughout the game. Yeah, as you can see, 35, 35, 25, 31. So he was good. Tom de Koning, he's a ruck. He's going to be about 5th or probably 8th best in the fantasy for ruckman, as you've got Gawn, Grundy, Marshall, English. I would suspect almost Briggs is below him, isn't he? Briggs is below. Briggs probably will be below him, but you have Sherry as well, which is 5. Nankerv is 6. So yeah, he's probably 7 or 8. Ruckman there. Probably Riley O'Brien is around the mark as him. I would just think off the top of my head, and I can't think of anyone else. Probably Witts as well is just ahead of him. So yeah, he's not really contending there. Walsh, a 101, and yeah, I'm really torn about this because I think, who was it? Was it Vams put out a good point, or was it Jaden? One of them put out a good point. I forget who it was exactly, just saying that how replicable is Sam Walsh's big scores without these huge non-disposal points? We've seen him put up 2, and that is the wrong one. I was watching out the end of the VFL game between the Swans and the Suns, and it ended up being a draw. So let's go to Walsh here. And you'll see what I mean here, because this tackle number was not replicable. 17 tackles and 2 marks. So that's 19 tackles and marks across the 2 games, and we do not expect these tackles to hold. To be honest, I'm expecting more of a 6 or a 5 average. So if that's the case, and he's averaging like 2 marks a game, he's getting up there for not really impacting on the non-disposal side, and that is tough to get to especially with his handball heavy style at the moment with a 13-22, and I mean it was an even split in the first game. But with this handball heavy style, it is hard for him to replicate the big scores. And I reckon there is a chance that he just drops, just because I don't know if the tackling will be there to make up for the lack of marks. And the marks also give most likely a +5 or a +6, whereas the tackles are a +4 at the moment. As you get maybe one holding the ball call a game, but so the marks are more almost worth more. Kennedy, Newman, Mackay, Akers, Hewitt, Kemp, Pitnet, Kerno, Cottrell, literally none of these guys matter anymore. And then we come down to Zach Williams, a 28, and if this will load, which it's not wanting to, he got subbed out he played maybe first half. Yeah, I think it was first half, and then you just see him outside after the second half starts, and you just see a red dot next to him basically here, and it's subbed out, and you're like, So for all those people saying that I shouldn't have traded out Zach Williams, yeah, go on, because now you guys are in a world of hurt, whereas I'm still in a world of hurt, but I'm not in a forced trade out of some other guys. Like I can trade out. I have options basically. So yeah, I'm not in the worst position, I would say. I'm still in a bad position, but I'm not in the absolute worst position. Because yeah, it's double upgrade this week to make up for the double downgrade this week. But yeah, so just looking through here, and there is absolutely no one here that I'm actually looking at and thinking that they're going to be worthwhile outside of potentially Walsh, but I think it's more of a Supercoach play given the 1.3 scaling he gets. Paddy Cripps could be a Supercoach play, as what's he averaging in fantasy? Cripps here is averaging, Cripps is averaging 99 in fantasy and a 104 last 3. He's getting there. But the problem is, doesn't he have... Oh, he has the round 14. That's an interesting one. That could be a sneaky play, but I don't trust him at the moment. So that would be a Hail Mary, I reckon, for Cripps. Kennedy and Newman to 93, that's all right, but he's not at top 6 level at all. If you look at Newman here, Newman, he's only averaging 84.5. Yeah, he's just not there, and he's now at like sort of that 760k range. So if they went back to the kick mark style and they turned it around, maybe Newman, but I don't think so at the moment. Lockie Cowan, good on sort of debut, and so what's he priced at? Cowan, isn't it like 330k? No chance I'm going to turn to him. And no one else here really that's noteworthy. So yeah, Zach Williams is going to lose cash now and going to have to be traded up to like so he made basically 23k, and there is a possibility now that if the likes of D'Ambrosio scores more than, I think, about a 60 or a 65. I think it's a 122. So I think D'Ambrosio, let me just check what D'Ambrosio's last score was, a 65. I think D'Ambrosio needs to go 57 to technically outscore Williams across this run. So hopefully he can do that, as that will be sort of a mini win there. Then we go over to Western Sydney, and Josh Kelly, 119 with the 3 goals. He was really good. Kieran Briggs was pretty good in the ruck. Tom Green got himself to 100 in the end, which was, he didn't look on track at all to get to 100. If we look here at Tom Green, if it will load, a 32 and a 29 in the last quarter, but he's going massively down in price, given the 159 break. Even that's probably a good 40k, 35k, so he's probably going to be 955 or so k, I reckon. 955 to 960, which good for non-owners, as he's starting to really drop down, and he'll be a good pickup post buy, I reckon, as he's gonna get back into form, which will be 120s. But it's good just to see him drop some low scores back to back, as his L3 is L3 now is 86, which is good. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that price drop again. Buckley ended up with a 93 somehow, just a lot of marks. Lockie Whitfield, 29 touches, 7 marks, no tackles, which was a little bit annoying for a 93. I thought he, especially with the start he got, he in the second half only put up a 31. But I'm still happy with this, given that he's averaging across the whole year, he's averaging a 110. And we got him for an average of still over 100. And given the defenders all starting to pop down in price, in average, you'll see here no one in the 100 club, and we've got Harry Sheasel 129, Whitfield 110 basically, and Hayden Young 199. And then you got Nick Martin, who will slot back in there. Even Elliot Yo's going at 94. So I think that line for the top 6 defenders is getting more and more towards the sort of 100 marker rather than the 105 that I think we thought it would be, just because even Wangani Malira dropped, Houston back up there at 92. So this is really going to be tight with the top 6. But I think that Lockie Whitfield is solidified in there, in the top sort of 6 range, even top 8 if you wanted to spread it out. I think he's going to be there no matter what. Ash, Hogan, Daniels, Bedford, Wards, Adun, Callahan, Himmelberg. Himmelberg really, for so much that we wanted out of Himmelberg, he really hasn't done anything to impress, to be honest with you. Just a middling 70s. Perryman, Riccardi, Cadman, Weird, Green, Thomas. For those people that had Thomas now, again, good cash gen, I reckon. But aside from that, he's not really fieldable, because he's going to drop, I think, a 15 or 20 or 25 every now and again. Peatling, O'Halloran, Leaker was a lot better Supercoach wise and fantasy wise, just because of the spoils. And then you also had Callum Brown doing nothing pretty much in the forward line. But that is the video there going through how Carlton overran GWS and ended up being 19-point winners in the end. And So that leaves the Geelong Cats as the last undefeated side all year, and hopefully the Swans can jump up, as we'll have, 3 teams on 5-1, chasing a 6-0 start from the Geelong Cats. So we'll wait and see how that game goes today. And so yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, I guess, which will be the Brisbane versus Geelong game that we'll get into in the wet weather up in Brisbane. So I'll see you guys in that one. Bye, guys.